In our first story, students of the School of Surveying and Mapping have threatened to march to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to stop the minister from closing down the school as he directed earlier yesterday. The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, John Peter Amewu, justified his directive to have the school closed down. Speaking to Joy News early on, Peter Amewu revealed that the school has no accreditation aside the unruly behavior of the students last week, which provoked his decision. Yesterday, he directed that the school be closed down following a demonstration against the Lands Commission last week in what students say is the Commission's attempt to sell the land on which they are situated to a private investor. Angered by the latest instruction of the minister, the students this morning stormed the school in their numbers, chanting in protest. Joy News' Maxwell Agbagba has been there this morning. We'll bring you some more details on this particular story right after this. Thank you very much for staying here on Joy News today. And now let's go back to the story where students of the School of Surveying and Mapping are threatening to march to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to stop the minister from closing down the school as he directed earlier yesterday. Bright Insia is the SRC president of the school.
We want to call upon the President of the Republic that we, the students of Ghana School of Surveying and Mapping, we are not Togolese, we are not Nigerians, we are Ghanaians by birth, and so therefore we were all part of the electorate that went to the polls December 2016. They were preaching change, and yes, of course, we were being affected by the winds of change. Yes. So we voted massively for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. MPP government has been promising the Ghanaian people quality education, free education. We ask the Ghanaian populace, is this action yearning towards quality education? No, not at all. We called on all the stakeholders, right from the office of the presidency, office of the former president of the republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, office of the former president John Ajekum Kufuor. We called on the office of the former president, Right Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings. We called on the office of Ministry of Defense, the National Security Office, Ministry of Education, and yes, of course, the Minister in charge of Tertiary, Ministry in charge of Human Rights, that our leaders are infringing on our rights. Yes. And we demand immediate action. Yes.
The gaps in the nooks.
Failure to do this,
oppose anything.
Our next action is to march to the office of the presidency. Yes. Yes. And if the need arises that we need to spend overnight, we will. Are we ready? Yeah. Are we ready? Yeah.
Not ready. Always ready.
Mr. President, you heard it all. The students of Ghana School of Surveying and Mapping are ever ready. As it happens in the nursing people, definitely we can do same. Yes. We will sleep over there. We want to protect and defend the legacy of Sir Garden Gadgisbeck. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Can you go to Achimota School right now and ask them to vacate their premises?
No. Where should they go?
Can you go to Legon?
Where should we go?
And ask Legon to vacate their premises?
No. Where should we go? Where should we go?
So why are you treating the ordinary students of Ghana School of Surveying and Mapping in this way?
So pathetic.
It is unfair.
It's not fair.
And we demand immediate intervention by the presidency.
Education is our right.
Thank you very much.
Not a privilege.
And we know that education is a right of every citizen of Ghana.
Yes.
It is not that we'll be privileged to have it.
No.
It is a right, not a privilege. And so therefore we will demand that our right should be given to us.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Call on nooks and gaps too.
Yes, of course. We are calling on our sister and our mother unions.
Close down the school. Like people who go into armed robbery, other.
Ghana Union of Professional Students, GAPS, we are calling on you that you need to be behind us.
Wow.
NUCS, National Union of Ghanaian Students, we are calling on you that this is the time that you need to stand for your member institution.
Yes!
Unless, of course, government want the whole students and the youth of Ghana to resort into armed robbery.
Yes!
Galamsey.
Yes. Galamsey.
If not,
It's a self-employed institution.
if the government has an interest in protecting the waters of the country.
Well, Amas states that they didn't mention they would march to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to press home their demand. But it's not the students alone who are worried about this matter. Here's an alumnus and a lecturer of the Ghana School of Survey and Mapping.
I can see you trying, very hard to calm the students right now.
Yeah, because I am an alumni of the school. I'm a teacher in the school here. I'm a staff of this department. And of course, the workers' union, I'm part of it. Yeah. So I have a big stake in the affairs of the school. The school is to be run by a board of directors, not by the director of survey. The last session of the board of directors was about 3-4 years ago. The school is not running effectively because there is no board of directors to run the school. And that's what the lecturers are asking for.
But I want you to speak to the disturbances on the campus, on May 2nd, May 2, actually, when some students vandalized some corrugated roofing sheets used in fencing a parcel of land here. You saying that your life has come under constant threat, and that's the reason why you want to go on strike?
Of course, yes. If you want to talk about positioning, the best people you can use is surveyors. We are here, and you out of nowhere you see land guards coming to determine boundaries for us, and I don't think that's proper. Those who determine boundaries are surveyors. So even if a private developer has been given a size of land, his boundary must be determined by surveyors. Then we know where we fall, we know where the private developer must develop. But we will be here, then land guards will come threatening, if you attack the students in their hostels. And as an alumni of the school, and you expect me to sit quiet, unconcerned? No.
So would you say that the action of the minister to have this school closed down temporarily was necessitated by some of these concerns that you raised?
I think the minister was misinformed about the status of this issue. Yes, I think he was not briefed properly. Yes, the minister should have listened to the other side of the story. He shouldn't have only taken what our hierarchy have said and to act upon it. No, he should have, at least he has 2 deputies. If he himself cannot come down here, he can send one of the deputies to come down here to hear from the students, to hear from the staff. Those you see here are staffs. So you have staffs and students presently standing before you. Yes, so if for nothing, you send one of your deputies to come and find out what is really going on there. But you didn't do that, then out of nowhere, you close. Yesterday, we had a meeting with our director, and in connection with this board of directors issue. And his assurance was that, it will be constituted very soon, so we should go back to the classroom and teach. And we agreed. Just for us to hear that the school has been closed down. Now, what are you coming to teach? Is it tables and chairs that we are to come and teach? No.
Maxwell Agbagba has been to the school site. He's actually been there since morning. We'll reach him for the latest on this matter. You're watching Joy News today.